Well, hey,
Hello.
how was your week?
Really good. Traveling for work. Super,
As
super
usual. I
fun.
feel like that's all you do.
I know, I know. Super fun, super tired. How about you? You've done some traveling too.
I did, but mine was fun. Mine was not work. I had a girls' trip. I went to Fairhope with some of my old coworkers, so we were there for a few days. It was so fun.
And the weather was
The
nice.
weather was perfect. It was a little warm to be walking around, but in the 80s, so it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But it was really good weather, so we got
Warm for
lucky.
October, but so much better than, say, July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we weren't miserable walking around.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I was also in Florida, so I was down in Orlando, so had meetings all day, but did have some fun at night, a nice dinner, a
yeah.
couple of nights, and then we did get to go to Disney, so
Oh,
that
that's
was
fun.
fun. So walked around, I think 5.5 miles and 15,000 steps.
Oh wow.
So then we were just there a few hours, so we made the most of it. It was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
Well,
but
good.
glad to be back and, just busy now trying to play catch up.
Trying to get on your routine. I know it's
Yes.
hard.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so sitting here, I just now thought of this. I didn't even think about it when you were downstairs, but I have an update on Rod.
I cannot wait.
I can't believe I forgot.
It's best that we do it on this anyway.
Yeah, it's just a small one. It's not super super funny. But okay, so since I haven't talked to you about this, you may have to refresh my memory. A couple of podcasts ago, we mentioned Rod and my other friend had spoken. So we kind of all
Yes.
found out that he was talking to you and my other friend.
Yes.
Well, I don't know exactly how it came. I have a third friend, okay, that is also
Face palm.
on
I cannot.
the same dating website. Okay. And I've known that she was on there, but I never asked her if she had seen this. I wasn't even going to. I was just going to let it play out.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it came up exactly. And I'm also scared to share too much information on here. So I'm trying to also be vague. But anyway, I got a text from this third friend. Well, no, I got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that. I got a text from my third friend asking me about Rod because of all the similarities. And so I said, well, have you spoken to him or anything? And she said, no, that she deleted him because of you and my other friend. So he obviously, I forget how it works. I guess he liked her profile or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
And she saw it. And I don't know if she heard on the podcast or if she had already been talking to my other friend. And, everything sounded familiar. But at any rate, he also had reached out to her.
He is making the rounds.
I think he's just going through liking profiles.
Oh, for sure. My theory is that they do not give you perfect matches so that you have all these people to filter through. And if you found your perfect match on week one, you wouldn't pay the subscription.
Yeah, true.
So I think they just kind of pump people in
Yeah.
and you can find a needle in a haystack. I know several people that I know have found a mate. They're engaged, they're dating, they're married, somebody on this site. But for the most part, it is a needle in a haystack. So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
deleting it. I
maybe
just can't. It's too frustrating for me.
my other friend said she was planning on delete. I actually think she deleted hers at one point
And then
and
got
then
back
got back
on.
on. Yeah.
Well, that's how the friend that I mentioned that is now married, the other friend that I mentioned that is now engaged, both found their person on round number 2.
Oh, really?
They got so frustrated, they deleted their account, got off the app, didn't have a lot of luck, got back on the app, and that's when they met their person. So, again, I don't know if there's science to it, but come on. We're in 2024. There's algorithms, there's AI, there's code. I mean, I know that they can do better
True.
than they're doing.
Yeah.
Matching up certain keywords or certain things that you fill out, and we'll just leave it there. I'm about to delete it, though, because it's entirely too frustrating.
Are you showing me this now or later? Before we started recording, Mandy said, I've got a guy I need to show you, but I'm going to wait.
Well, I'm just going to read it. So,
I'll have to see the picture too.
well, I didn't take a picture of his face.
Oh, you didn't?
No, because I was trying to get the full bio.
Okay, I gotcha.
And this is mild, guys. But just to give you an idea, those of you that are married, just stay married. Stay in your house, because this is unfortunate. Seeking a local friend of sorts. No drama. Okay, first of all, when you say no drama, I know you're full of it. I know you're full of drama. Okay. Just someone for us to have fun together. I'm a single dad without a lot of time. Also, the punctuation and all the stuff
Don't
is
get me
killing
started on the grammar.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but would like someone to spend some of that time with. Pet friendly. Okay, I thought he meant pet friendly. No, use your imagination. Hoping,
Fat for fetish?
yes.
Wow.
Hoping to find a regular monogamous play friend into mild kink.
Stop it.
No, that is right here. This is a grown ass man. Excuse my
Stop
French.
it.
I just can't. And this, I've showed Lisa
That one is
so
mild.
many of them. That's mild.
That is mild.
And it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for this person. But oh yeah. So that is
Well, the other one
reason.
that we looked at, the guy was married. He said something like, remember early on,
Yes.
been married for 30 years, don't plan on changing it.
Yes.
What did he say? Don't expect me to pay.
Yes, don't expect me to pay. ENM. I had to Google it. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm living in the 1800s because I didn't know what ENM is. It's ethical non-monogamous, meaning they have a partner, either a wife, fiance, long-term girlfriend, whatever. They're not planning on ending that relationship, but they are looking for a relationship on the side.
Is he also, I guess, probably the one that said NSA, which was no strings attached? A few of them have said
A lot
that
of
too.
them have said NSA. I mean, y'all,
Whatever.
it is a complete crap show.
Whatever.
Yeah. And so you are very quickly getting deleted.
I mean, I guess, if they're being honest about it, you know what you're going to get. It just seems a little weird being on a dating website when you're married, but whatever.
And one of them was looking for somebody 18 and up. I mean, just
Adult, legal, and you're good.
Oh, yeah. Just put it out there.
Disgusting.
Yeah. People are disgusting. But anyway,
Okay.
I digress. I'm getting off of this hellhole of a website. And so,
Yeah, okay, well.
speaking of no discipline, I know we're talking about beauty things. I didn't wash my makeup off last night.
You didn't?
I went to bed. That's speaking of no discipline. And you can't do that when you're 50.
Well, you don't
know?
look like you slept in makeup.
Well, you got to get yourself together. And that, I'm just tired. So,
Well, you don't look tired, and I would have never thought that you went to bed with makeup on.
well, good. I'm glad I don't have like excessive wrinkles or something because of it.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about beauty standards, aging gracefully, things like that. So this is a hard one again.
It is. It's hard for me.
So it's just something that we're just going to chit chat about. This will be a challenge for me. It'll be a struggle a little bit talking about it, but also a challenge to really do
yeah.
what I say.
Oh,
To think how I need to be thinking about all this. So I looked up a couple of things. We're a little unorganized today, so y'all have to just bear with us, and I can't see. I looked up online what are today's standards for women, like today's beauty standards for women. And it said that, and probably we all could have guessed this, but it says that today's standards are fluid, diverse, and inclusive, which makes sense. You do see more women of color, different shapes and sizes. So it's not the typical, you know, tall, thin, and blonde female that you would have seen in the 70s. But it said today's standards are fluid, diverse, and inclusive versus thin, fair-skinned, narrow face, and slim body, which I would agree with that. Yeah, it's crazy that when you look back, even in magazines and TV shows, how different the models and even the actresses looked then versus now, and what we accepted then versus now. And sometimes I look back and I think, what was so special about how that female looked or, you know, carried herself? Because today it looks, well, how can I put this? Unhealthy.
Yeah. And I may be wrong about the size, so nobody, you know, leave a comment and say something nasty that I'm wrong. I'm going from memory.
Mandy at mombods
That's
com.
Speaking of mom bods, right? But look at Marilyn Monroe. She is a perfect example. I want to say she was a 12.
I think so.
Which, by all accounts, is not big.
No.
12 is not big.
No.
It's a normal woman's size. But compared to what you see on TV today, and I think about somebody that's super tiny that's in the spotlight, like Kelly Ripa.
Yes.
Or
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I mean, tiny. That is not a 12. That is like a 2 or a 4. And I think we have to all take off our glasses, our rose-colored glasses, and say, okay, every woman is going to be shaped a little bit differently. They're going to fit in their clothes a little bit differently. A 12 is not even equal. Weight is not equal. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those Dove ads where it said this person weighs 137 and this person also weighs 137, and they look completely different. So I think we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace. I constantly watch the scale, and that's just my thing, and that bothers me. But I'm okay with where I am now, and I've got some muscle tone, and I feel pretty good about myself. But then I'll see myself in a picture, and I'll think, oh my gosh, you look like a moose. And I think I was fiddling with everything when we started this episode. Like, why do I look fat? Like, I wear a 4 or a 6. How do I look fat? But, you know, just the beauty standards overall have changed. But then you think about Marilyn Monroe, right? But then you look at Kim Kardashian. She's very thin, at least now, but she's got a big old booty, big junk in the trunk. And so even she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress and had a hard time getting it zipped up.
Right.
So it's just strange how things ebb and flow throughout
I
our
also
society.
wonder, and it may not have changed, but if the sizing is different. Like, it was a 12 in the 50s and 60s different than a 12 in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah,
I don't
point.
know
Good
if
point.
they make the clothes differently. But you said you're at times a size 4. Some of your, I can't wear a size 4 in anything. Nothing. The smallest I can get into is a size 6. And it just depends on the brand. But if I'm shopping for a bathing suit or something like that, I'm usually more comfortable in a 10. It fits me better. So I am anywhere from a size 6 to a 10, depending on the brand and what I'm wearing. I think it just depends a lot on how you're built too. My waist is not small, and that's a lot of why I have to wear the sizes that I wear. So Marilyn Monroe, I think if we saw her in person, I think she was very curvy.
Yeah.
And it made her look bigger than what we all think that she probably really was. I'm willing to bet if I saw her in person, she would look pretty small.
Yeah.
I think she just was curvy and, you know, had a smaller waist and, you know, perkier chest and that sort of thing. But to your point, she wasn't tall and slim and weighed 105 walking down the runway.
Yeah. I mean, and some of those supermodels
Yeah.
are literally 5'11", and they weigh 100 pounds. I mean, that's crazy. But I also think just over time, and this is very sensitive subject for me, but over time people have changed what is beautiful too. You see, and I hate to keep picking on the Kardashians because I'm not really judging them. It's just they are in the spotlight, and there's so many of the sisters.
Yeah.
And they all look different for
Yeah.
the most part. But Kylie, like, she had little thin lips. She had her lips done and done and redone, and her lips are big. So I think more and more people are doing things. You know, I am not opposed to doing anything to make myself feel better. I've done little things here and there. I've gotten Botox. I'm not afraid to admit that. I mean, it's not something I advertise, but if I didn't, I'd have these little 11s right here. But I don't think there's anything wrong with doing things to make yourself feel
absolutely.
better. But I think when you do it chasing approval, or you do it because you think you're not lovable because of it, then that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, someone I wanted to talk about, I saw her, she was on the Today Show. Well, I watch Hoda and Jenna in the mornings every day.
Uh-huh.
Pamela Anderson was on last week.
Yeah.
I have always loved her.
Yeah, I thought she was so pretty.
She is such a sweet person, and I don't know that much about her, but the little bit that I have kept up with her along the years, look, we all know she was a Playmate, a Baywatch, probably one of the most famous sex symbols out there, drop dead gorgeous. So she wasn't afraid to show her body. And look, you can judge her if you want to, whatever, okay? But my point is, she really has always been a sweet person. Has she always made the best decisions? No, but neither have I.
Neither have I.
You know, she's made a lot of questionable decisions. But she was on Hoda and Jenna. So, I don't know if you're aware, but here recently she's been going without makeup.
Yes.
Okay.
All natural.
So that started when she was in Paris for Fashion Week or something like that, and she decided just to not go. So she said that she was sitting in the chair, and it was going to take 3 hours to do hair and makeup to go to the event, and she just didn't want to do it. She wanted to go to the Louvre and see the city. She didn't want to sit there for 3 hours and get made up. And she said, who am I competing with? I have no one to compete with. I'm just going to watch this fashion show.
And then come home and wash it off.
Yes. So that's why she went with no makeup. Did not intend to get all of the, attention that she did. But I watched her interview. I'm going to be a big fat baby right now, but it was a 10-minute long interview if anyone wants to Google it and watch it. I was crying listening to her interview because she really is such a sweet soul. She has such a sweet presence about her. She has such a good heart, and she really is kind of shy, and she has said that that's how she was when she was younger. But because we see her as Tommy Lee's wife or Tommy Lee's ex-wife, and being at the Playboy Mansion and on Baywatch, we have this idea about her being a certain type of person, a certain type of female. And she's really not that person, not at the heart of it. So just listening to her talk, she was talking about her cookbook and this movie that she was just in that's coming out later this year. And I just started getting really teary-eyed watching that because I thought, so many people have her pegged wrong.
Sure.
And how many times have people had us pegged incorrectly?
Oh, yeah. I can tell you it happens all day, every day.
Yeah. So, my heart really went out to her, and I just really appreciate her for who she is and for what she stands for. Yeah, it just got to me.
And I will say she's naturally beautiful,
She is
too.
naturally beautiful.
Now, we're all used to seeing her like a pinup. hair perfect, curled, extensions, tons of makeup, big lips, like the whole thing. But she is naturally beautiful too.
She's gorgeous. And even when you look back at her younger pictures, even when she had on makeup, she was gorgeous. So she's, I think, 57. So she's a little bit older than us. And look, but she's had some work done. I don't think that she's really had anything major. I think she has had fillers and Botox and some lip injections. And I think I read where maybe she's had maybe something with her jaw or, a little lift here and something with her eyebrows.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's had like major facelift type surgeries.
Well, and my point is, so what if she had?
Right.
Right? We've got to get off our high horse. And I know I've been guilty of it too. When I was younger, I was like, she's plastic or whatever.
Right.
But when you start getting of a certain age, I mean, listen, I'm not coming over here looking like a skunk. I just had my hair done.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to get my hair done as long as there's a bottle of Clairol in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be gray. Now, I may change my mind and grow old gracefully, but I guess gracefully is whatever you're comfortable with. I don't think that you have to be all natural all the time, like no makeup, I'm going to let my hair grow gray, I'm going to do this and that, to be considered a naturally beautiful person.
Yeah.
I think you can do little enhancements if that makes you feel good. I know I'm going to. If I ever win the lottery, I may not tell anybody, but there will be definite signs.
Yeah. Well, it's really easy to say, like you just said, when we're younger, we think, oh my gosh, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I thought it too. But when you start looking in the mirror and you notice changes in your face and your body, those thoughts start creeping in. And, none of us want baggy eyes and jowls and a double chin. So some of you people may be fine with it, and that's okay. But some of us aren't, and that's okay too.
That's right.
But, Jeffrey always says, when I somewhat jokingly talk about getting work done, I think I've told you this, he always says, oh my gosh, you can't do that. You're going to end up looking like Skeletor. That's what he wants to call everyone who gets work done, Skeletor. And yes, there are some people that look like Skeletor, but there are some that do not.
Yeah.
So, but you said something about gray hair a second ago, and that reminded me, I wanted to share this. I looked it up. Okay. This is the difference in how we view men and women of age.
For sure.
Okay.
Yes.
And look, we're kind of guilty of it too, because we just said last week, we were talking about my George Clooney mouse pad. How
absolutely
he's salt and pepper, got the gray hair, and I don't know how old he is, in his 60s.
Yeah.
But, and he gets better looking with age.
Yes.
And so, for whatever reason, I think we tend to think that the men can grow older more gracefully than women with not as much work, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think most men look better with age. Women do not.
But the thing is, they're not getting Botox in their head. I'll tell you right now, some of the stuff that I've seen him in, when he lifts up his eyebrows, I'd be shocked if he was getting Botox in his forehead.
He needs some refunds.
So all of these men that we see on the screen that aren't getting Botox or fillers, but yet we still think that they're so handsome. But when we see a woman who's not getting Botox in her forehead, we're like, oh, she's getting older. And I'm guilty of that too. But back to my point, I just wanted to look this up for me. So when I was looking up the women's standards, I Googled today's popular actresses, okay? Something like that. Okay, now that we're recording, this isn't going to want to work, so let's give me it's because I have it on airplane mode. All right, let me take off airplane mode and hope no one calls me. Okay. So, this is what I Googled. Gray-haired actresses. I wanted to see who came up, okay? It's the classics, the people that we love: Jamie Lee Curtis, Diane Keaton, Helen Mirren, Glenn Close, Meryl Streep, Jane Fonda, all of these women, okay? But yet, their ages range from 60s to 80s. No, 92, this Rita Moreno, she's 92. So every one of these women are like mid to late 60s and up. Okay? I think I had today's popular actresses with gray hair. Okay? My point is, you're on up there in age. I did the same thing for the men. Okay? Famous gray-haired actors. Okay? George Clooney, Richard Gere, Ted Danson, Mark Ruffalo, is that his name? Anderson Cooper, Patrick Dempsey. Oh my gosh, we all know Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay. Matt LeBlanc, all these people. But yet, their ages start in the 50s. And the oldest one on this list that I'm looking at is 75, and it's Richard Gere. Okay. Hugh Grant, Steve Carell, Idris Elba. Is he gray? I guess he's got a gray beard. So, my point is, how many 80-year-old men are on this list?
Yeah.
How many 70-year-old men are on this list?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because I Googled famous actresses, popular actresses with gray hair, but yet none of the men that were of a certain age made this list, which makes me feel like we can handle the men up to a certain age and then we're done.
Well, we can, and you also think about men don't typically live as long as women. So there's probably not as many in Hollywood still working that people would know who they are.
Well,
but I mean, my point is, it's making a blanket statement. And so I know somebody's going to go, well, that's not true. My brother this or
yeah.
my aunt this. What I'm saying is, as a general statement, men look better with age, women do not. Especially when you hit menopause, you start losing collagen, you start getting the middle age spread, your hormones are acting crazy. That is a whole thing. And you lose elasticity in your skin. Men typically do not have the same type of things. And it's
But they do get a beer gut.
They do.
And they do lose their hair.
They do. But that's genetic. Their predisposition to lose it.
But how many bald actors do you know that are super famous and well-liked and are heartthrobs?
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not trying to harp on the men. I'm just saying there are differences. Because there are some older actors that I'm thinking of now that are pretty old. And I can see why they didn't make that list because they're not that good looking anymore.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, the women that are their age, they are making this list. But you know why? Because they're getting work done. Because they don't look their age.
Yes. And they're not accepting the grow old gracefully.
Maybe not Jamie Lee. I don't think she's had that much done. But point is, you know, and then we wonder why all of these women in Hollywood get all this work done.
Yeah.
We say we don't like it, but then we lift them up when they continue looking good.
Well, there's a societal pressure, and that is part of my point. And look at, the Friends reunion.
Yeah.
She is gorgeous. She is a beautiful woman. She's had a lot of work done. Jennifer Aniston. She's another girl next door, but still a sex symbol.
Right.
Very popular. Everybody knew who she was. She's had a lot of work done. Lisa Kudrow, on the other hand, she didn't look like she had had any work.
I know.
But she still looks the same. So she's got a great surgeon. I need to know who that is. But what I'm getting at is there is a societal pressure for women to look young and to have a great figure and all of these things, still stay up with fashion. I have some notes on fashion. That's difficult when you feel younger inside, but really you have no business wearing certain things, especially out in public.
Yeah.
And so I think you have to pick your battles, but you have to do what makes you feel good. I think that's my whole point.
Yeah.
If you want to have plastic surgery, have it. Don't worry about what your friends and family say, but obviously that you can take anything too far.
Right.
But also, people being cruel about a 50-year-old woman wearing a bikini. I mean, if you want to wear a bikini, rock it.
Well, I had the TV on the other day and Lisa Rinna was on. Mm-hmm. Not old school Lisa Rinna, but Lisa Rinna now. And her lips just continue to get bigger and bigger. And I've always thought she was very attractive.
Yes.
She's pretty.
Agreed.
But she was on some other show the other day and my youngest son walked by and he said, "Who is that?" And I said, "That's Lisa Rinna." He was like, what is up with her? Like, he thought something about her looked different. Mm-hmm. So I told him that she had lip fillers and, some other things done. And just wasn't his vibe. Mm-hmm. So my point to saying that was, yeah, she seems to overdo the lip work.
Yeah.
But she has always, from day one, been perfectly fine with how her lips look. And she has continued to do it. She loves how she looks. Mm-hmm. She's pretty open about her body and her looks and everything about her. So, like what you were saying earlier, if it makes her happy, the rest of us may think, lay off. I can't tell you how many times I have said, she's got to lay off the facial work.
Right.
She's starting to look different. She's got to lay off.
Right.
Because I don't like for people to start looking differently. Mm-hmm. Enhanced is okay for me, but when they start looking a little different, I have a problem with it. But at the end of the day, it's not my issue. And if it makes her happy to do that, who cares?
Yeah. Let her do it.
Who cares?
Yeah. And life is short, and we've talked about this before with parenting and with all kinds of things. It is your consequence. It is your choice.
Yeah.
It is you paying the bill for these things. And when I say pay the bill, I mean what people say about you, what people think about you. But at the end of the day, people don't think about us as much as we think they do. Secondly, the ones that are going to talk about it are going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
If you got your nails painted pink and they thought they should have been red, that's going to be a conversation. Or if you got a tattoo, or if you got a piercing, or if you had some work done, they're always going to say something. So why do we live our lives trying to please other people and what their expectation of us is?
People also like to say what they would do if something ever happened to them or what they would do in this situation, and you really don't know.
Right.
You really don't know. Whether it's losing a loved one or winning the lottery, you don't know what you would do in that situation.
Right.
And if you want to spend your money on doing a few enhancements to make yourself look better and feel better, whatever. At the end of the day, it really isn't anybody else's issue. So just a couple of notes that I had written down was, we have to embrace authenticity and individuality, which we've spoken about that before on here plenty of times, being authentic and being vulnerable. And when I put that, I actually had looked up one more video on Pamela Anderson because I believe she just won some kind of Woman of the Year award, and I don't know who was giving out the award, but it was backstage, and so Brooke Shields was interviewing her, and it was just like a quick 3-minute interview or something. And so she had said that, this is Pamela Anderson, this is what she said: authenticity and vulnerability is rarely celebrated in this glitz and glamour world of fashion. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if she meant specifically in Hollywood or just the overall world of fashion, how we look, what we wear, how we present ourselves. And she's right. Being authentic and being vulnerable is rarely celebrated unless we like how someone is doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you paid attention to every new trend that came out in fashion, you would be wearing a raincoat and nothing else walking down. Like, have you seen some of the things that these shows?
Crazy.
It is absolute insanity. Like, I'm not wearing a mattress to go into my office.
I've always wondered, who is buying these and where do they wear them? Is that for real?
It's crazy.
Is this stuff for real?
Well, some of it is, and they wear it to things like the Met Gala and stuff like that. But even then, you see a lot of ball gowns. You don't see a lot of craziness. But what I'm getting at is everybody else wants to define what is in and what is not in.
Yeah.
If whatever I want to wear, I'm wearing it.
Right.
And within reason, right?
Yeah.
And so to shift gears a little bit, I looked up this week, what are some things, trends for women, or what are some tips and tricks for women that are in their 50s or 50 and above? And I thought it was interesting because some of these things are so simple and it's almost elementary. And then some of them I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but I still do my own thing. So I'll read some of them. So one is opt for daintier jewelry. Well, I have found myself as I've gotten older wearing just very simplistic, earrings, like a little diamond and one little necklace. But I do love a statement earring, so don't come at me because I'm going to wear those when I want. But I have a ton of earrings and I love them and they're big, especially if my hair's pulled back.
Yeah, if my hair's pulled back, for sure.
Yeah. A good bag. So a good purse. Well, that can go either way. What does that mean? The one that they had on here as an example was like $1,400. And I'm like, well,
give me a break.
Okay, well, not everybody is going to buy that. Not everybody wants that. But anyway, it does make sense if you have one good staple piece, like one good purse that you can wear with everything, and it kind of elevates your look. Make sure you're wearing the right bra size.
Yes, for heaven's sake.
Well, depends. Yes. Depends on the damn day. And how much weight I've gained. All right. Don't be afraid of color. Well, I'm definitely not, although I'm always in the black club.
I'm in black and blue again today.
Buy a white button down. I love a white button down, and it can go with a blazer or jeans or a skirt, and so you can do a lot with it. And speaking of jeans, find the right jeans. That's really hard to do at our age.
Pockets are the issue.
Yes.
Where the pockets are.
Yes.
In the back, if they sit low, it doesn't work for me because I've got a pair of jeans and they sit low and it makes my butt look like it's low. I have to have high pockets.
Yes. I'm making
for the lift.
Notes. Okay. Have a go-to pair of heels. I think that matters if you are in an office setting, if you have drinks or dinner after work, something like that. But wearing heels every day for me, now I will wear a wedge or something like that, but wearing a pair of high heels every day is just not sustainable for me anymore.
No.
Just kills. Okay. Invest in luxe knits, which I love. There are tons of those really nice knit sets that look good, like it's the monochrome color palette, and it's got like the long knit jacket with the I'm not going to say pajama pants, but they look like pajama pants or joggers, but they're nicer. And the top.
Okay.
Play up your waistline. I think wearing a belt or something to make yourself look like you've got an hourglass
and tuck in your shirt.
Tuck in your shirt. Some chic loafers and a smart blazer. And then, of course, I think just wearing what makes you feel good, what you feel good in, whether other people like it or not. And I think throwing some cute, trendy things in there, especially for me, it's like shoes. So I might wear just a normal outfit, but if I've got some cute, funky shoes that would break it up, I would wear that. But I think when you're 50, you're kind of in that transition. You don't want to wear mama shoes.
No mama shoes.
No mama shoes. But you also want to look appropriate for your age. And, there have been times I've worn some probably too short shorts, but, I think just what makes you feel good.
Well, and everything on that list that you just read, every bit of that is about styling.
Yes.
Everything that you read, it's something to accentuate your look.
Yeah.
Nothing on there mentioned anything about hair. Nothing on there mentioned anything about makeup.
No.
It was about styling. So
Yeah.
I think that, and I'm trying to do this more, I really am. If you can just pull your hair back, because my hair has to either be fixed or just pulled back. But if you could just pull your hair back in a ponytail or a bun and just have on mascara and lip gloss, but yet you took to heart what that list said and you were at least presentable. You had whether it was the knit outfit or a jean and a button down shirt, when it's tucked in, when you have a belt, when you have cute shoes, when you've got a purse. Actually, I like that style. And when I see women that look like that, every time I tell myself, why don't I just do that? It would save me so much time and energy not to have to worry about hair and makeup, because that lady looks really cute in what she has on.
Yeah. And I think part of that is, as you're getting older, figuring out what haircut works for your face, what makeup works for your face. I love an eyeliner. I love it. And people can tell me it's out all day long. I don't care. I'm wearing it. But I've had to stop lining the under of my eyes. You know, even though I liked it when I was younger, I liked the way it made my eyes pop. But now I can't do that. So I think finding things that are age appropriate without just saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna grow old gracefully and not ever do anything." Like I had an aunt that never fixed her hair, never wore makeup. I think I saw her with lipstick on one time. And, you know, that was just who she was. And she was very confident in herself and didn't need all that. But for me, I feel like I want to look presentable.
Yeah.
Especially because I work, you know.
Well, I always wore eyeliner too. I still wear eyeliner. It depends on your eye shape also. Some women can go without it, and if you have, again, really dark eyelashes or long eyelashes, especially on your lower eye, it looks like you have on eyeliner anyway. I don't have that. My eyelashes are very light and I don't have a lot. So if I don't have on mascara, it looks like I have on no eyelash. It looks like I have no eyelashes. So I've had to learn that when I wear lower eyeliner like I have on today, it needs to be a brown, not a black. It's got to be a very light brown, and I just have to kind of smudge it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, especially in pictures, when I wear my black eyeliner, my eyes look really heavy, if that makes sense, because my eye shape has changed.
Yeah.
You know, my eyes are getting droopy. I can't wear the same type of makeup.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, for sure, none of y'all are going to recognize me on these videos if I win the lottery. I should have bought a ticket while I was in Florida.
Well, my husband's always buying them every time he goes out of state. But another thing, and I keep getting back to Pamela Anderson. I'm obsessed with her right now. When she was on the Today Show, she had on black slacks, a really cute, nice white button-down shirt with flared sleeves at the bottom. So it was very chic, okay?
Yeah.
No makeup. Her hair was pulled back in a ponytail, but, well, it was like when you are going to make a bun, but you only pull your hair halfway out so the bottom is kind of sticking out. That's how her hair was fixed, okay? And it was just kind of off to the side. But yet she looked so adorable because of the clothes that she had on. And when she won this award, obviously she was in a nice dress and her hair was down. But there's ways, I think, again, it's about finding the balance, and you can go makeupless and hair not fixed without looking like a slob.
Yes.
And that's what we have to figure out.
Yes.
How to not look, because no one wants to look dirty or slobbish. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're not saying just don't wash your hair and, you know, look clean, look like you still care about yourself, but it can also be very simple.
Yeah. And I think bathing suit shopping will do a lot for your ego. Really puts us in check, right?
For sure.
And so,
and you have to start spending a little bit more on bathing suits. I've noticed we need the thickness and the support.
You absolutely do.
I do not shy away from spending quite the few bucks on a bathing suit.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you find one that you like,
Yeah.
and you like a brand, you better get a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. You can be mama real quick. And I've had my fair share of suits that I didn't like because I tried to cut corners. So,
well, and again, you might look a little bit like a mama in it, but if you've got a really cute bathing suit that fits you well and is well made and it's very supportive, a lot of times people are going to notice the bathing suit more than your body.
Yeah.
Or certain aspects about your body that you don't like the cellulite or, the thicker waist or whatever. I've gotten more compliments on a bathing suit that I had on versus, stairs that I feel like are like, why does she have on that bathing suit? So again, we just get in our heads about it.
yes.
So
For sure.
Well, all right. We made it through another one.
We did.
Only 2 more episodes left.
Don't take fashion advice from me. I can tell you I'm wearing my pumpkin shirt today, and it's shaped.
I've got on my skull. We're trying to be Halloween today.
Yeah, we're Halloweeny.
We still got another week and a half before Halloween.
Yep.
But I don't know. We've got to figure out what we're going to do next week, what we're going to talk about for our next episode. And then the last one, we're still planning on doing a recap episode. So, we'll just recap the season. But, so 2 more to go. And
really
then
exciting times. I've enjoyed it so much. It's
I have
been
too.
fun.
Yeah.
And our 5 fans, thank you.
Oh, I forgot.
hanging in
I
there.
meant to check today to see what our numbers were. Because there's I think we're up like in the 20s on YouTube. I think
my
I think
gosh.
our YouTube followers are like 21 or 22, and Spotify and Apple Podcast they're in the teens.
That is so.
So I'm looking
funny.
at it like the total
Yes.
is maybe just under 50 people.
Hey, I'm okay with it because we're doing this for fun.
Exactly. Damn it. Hey, I'm in the middle of recording a podcast. Can we call you back? That's what I get for taking off airplane mode.
You
To
have,
look
to
up.
leave, you have to leave that in because you said hopefully my phone doesn't ring, and then also he's the one who's always said turn it on airplane
Yes, my
mode.
husband always says turn on airplane mode, and usually Mandy reminds me, and I had it on airplane mode. I remembered like halfway through the
But
podcast.
you had to look something up.
And then I had to turn it off to look up our gray-haired friends, and then of course my husband calls 30 seconds before we're done. So,
That's so funny.
anyway, it's real life. It's real life.
That's right.
So,
Well, have a great week.
all right, everyone, have a great week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.